Be returned as that will be a touchback.
Here we go.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go play action with Burrow. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A Bengal first down on a 16-yard pickup there.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. The Bengals had 1-6 now, and they've lost 3 straight here. And it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Mixon. And a short gain down to about the 33. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
I'm about to say something that seems really obvious, but you hate to see your kicker miss on the opening drive because now you're starting to wonder what goes through his head. Is that going to affect him the rest of the game? Is he going to be able to bounce back? You want to show confidence later? What's going to go on with him right out of the gate with a miss?
Yeah, chance to grab the 3-0 lead here at home. Instead, we remain scoreless. A first down run by Barkley unsuccessful as he won't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Try to lay one up deep. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Here we go. 12.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
Tatters under pressure, and they got to him again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. We're scoreless after 1. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Looking to pass. Tua. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Striker, 3-3.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tua. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Tua to throw again. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Right, 97. You don't win. You tell it.
On 2nd and 10. Tua to the right side and complete to Jefferson. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Barkley going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and goal, Tua, he dumps it off to Barkley. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? They'll send a receiver in motion left. Tua now, 3rd and goal. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. Eddie Pinheiro on now. This from 36 yards out. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. So 1st and goal quickly turns into 4th and goal, and then 4th and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
The Bengals drive about to get going. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side as this drive begins with a 1st down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And they go play action now. Burrow. Over the middle here to Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Here we go. 2nd and 9 from the 44. Now it's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Here we go, here we go.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Taking it about the 16. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know, for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
Ready.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Here we go. Here we go. 6, level. Red, cycle.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's going to wind up and air it out.
And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Forward red. Black dot.
Now Tua. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. With man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. And the pressure gets to him again. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations. Hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their...
He's got a man, complete! The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. From the gun, it's Tua. He's got it. Touchdown. Saquon Barkley. as the first half is winding down.
And the Giants have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
He's going deep for Brown, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's got room. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And after that touchdown, we are just a PAT away from a tie game. And I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even. They just scored. If they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to feel like they're the ones that are in control.
Evan McPherson now for the PAT.
It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football.
He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And the tight end goes in motion left.
Second down, here's Barkley again.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 15-yard line. A handoff, Barkley running left. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On 2nd and 7, Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Burrow on play action. He's going deep for Brown. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
He wants it all for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Giants will take over here just shy of the 30. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and that will keep this a 3-point game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Running left, it's Mixon. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Here we go, here we go.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Play action. It's Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 27-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Here we go.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Here we go.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Here we go. Eleven empty.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Gun.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throw left side complete to Chase.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Burrow to his old LSU teammate Chase for a Bengal first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Inside handoff to Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the
111 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here we go.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal.
Mixon will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. And now they will throw it with Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here we go.
For the lead, here's third and goal.
Whoa.
Now Burrow. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
So a pressure spot here for Evan McPherson.
From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
McPherson's kick is good.
And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter.
A pretty big opening there on first down. 8 yards up to the 33. Here's a second and 2 now from the 33. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
52.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Right, 60. Red, cycle.
Throwing again on second and 10. Tua. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. We say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win.
Here we go.
You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
Here we go.
Mixing up the middle. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line.
117 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Second down and 3.
11.
Burrow will throw. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. But Charles, in a tie game, you always wonder who's going to be making the big plays. Right now, it's not the offensive players. We're seeing these defenses step up and take control. Both of the last 2 drives have ended with interceptions.
They are certainly dictating this game, aren't they? Now it's going to come down to which offense can follow their defense's lead and step up in the clutch themselves.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Hey, no steal.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Tagovailoa. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looked... I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. A first down carry for Barkley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Striker, 3-3. On the ball.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. On an excellent tackle there as they keep him in bounds and hold him to no gain.
Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. I guess that was a little better. He got back to the line of scrimmage there after the loss on 1st down, but now you're still dealing with a 3rd and long.
So let's put on our offense coordinator hat. They've been very aggressive against the run the last 2 plays. I'm thinking screen right here. Let him come get the quarterback and dump it off, and there could be some room to roam.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
On the ready. Red, yellow. 5, 97.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And some room to maneuver.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it'll be the Bengals with the football here to start the overtime session as the kick is away. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
12. 11.
First throw in overtime now for Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
127 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Back to Mixon on 1st down.
Taken down at the 42.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Burrow.
Got a man open. It's Chase. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
They go play action with Burrow. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a give to Mixon.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you, and until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there available to them.
And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Mixon. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Now a timeout called for by the defense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back.
One more.
They need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. McPherson's kick is good, and they will take the lead at 13-10. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or you one of those guys
a little skeptical about it, or did you trust it? But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Bengals, they snap out of their doldrums and improve to 2-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.